Hey everyone, it's Miss Chong here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do a rocket ship line project. So some things you're going to need is a pencil, a Sharpie or a black marker, some paint or markers or crayons, whatever you want to use. I'm going to be using these watercolor paints today, and a cup or a jar of water. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to draw a curved line in the middle of your paper like this, so it kind of looks like a parentheses. And you want to make sure you're using your pencil, and you want to make sure you're drawing very lightly, because the harder that you press on your pencil, the harder it is to erase. And then you want to close that in by drawing another line that's symmetrical to the other side. So I'm going to go back and erase that because that was starting to curve in just a little bit too much. So if that happens, feel free to erase it. That's why we're drawing very lightly. That way we can go back and erase some things that we don't really like. So I'm going to fix this here right too. Okay. See, so if you notice, the lighter that you draw, the easier it is to erase. Okay, and then you're going to add one short diagonal line going this way and another one going that way, so it looks like it has two little feet sticking out. And then right below it, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to add two diagonal lines. Okay, then after that, we're going to add just a little hill shape here. And then we're going to bring these lines to connect a little bit closer to that little hill shape. So this is going to be part of where the lines come out on our rockets. Then we want to close those lines off with a horizontal line. Okay, and then we're going to add just another little rectangular shape right below our little curvy shape. So we're going to use two vertical lines and one horizontal line to close it off. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. Okay, and then we're going to go back up to the top here, and we're just going to draw a horizontal line at the top of our rocket, and then right below that we're going to draw a circle. Okay, then after that, what I want you to do is I want you to pick the lines that you want coming out of your rocket. So instead of fire launching a rocket, we're going to use different lines. So for mine, I'm going to use a variety of different lines. So I'm going to use a zigzag line here, and then a wavy line, and then I'll do another zigzag line. Okay, and then on this side, I'm going to do some dotted lines, and then some scalloped lines. So those are the bumpy lines. And then on this side, I'll do dashed lines. So you can pick a variety of different lines that you want to use. It doesn't have to look like mine. I just chose these lines. So if you decide you want to do a pattern of some sort, feel free to do that. So if you decided you wanted to do zigzag, wavy zigzag on this side and the same thing on the other side, that's totally fine. So now what we're going to do is, let me get the eraser shreds off of here, is you're going to pick up your Sharpie or your black marker or whatever you have to use to outline your drawing. So you're just going to trace over the lines that you already drew. You want to make sure you go nice and slow so that you don't mess up. Okay. Just do it bit by bit. It'll be easier that way. Okay, now here it's up to you if you want to switch it up and maybe use a different marker to have different colored lines. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that just to give it some more color. So I have these Sharpies here, but if you have any other markers at home, you can use that too. So on this side, I think I'm going to use cool colors. So that means I'm going to use colors that are green, purple, and blue to outline my lines here. And then on this side, I'm going to use warmer colors. So colors like red, yellow, and orange are going to go on this side. Now what you're going to do next is you are going to paint the background. So since a rocket usually launches in outer space, I'll probably paint it maybe a super dark blue. That way it still has a little bit of color in there, and maybe mix in a little bit of black. But I think for the most part, I'm going to go for this dark blue here. So usually this little paint palette comes with a little brush, but I can't find mine. So I'm going to use some other brushes that I have. And if you have any other paint brushes at home, you can feel free to use those too. Like if you have a big brush like this, you can use it to cover the background a lot faster and easier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and start painting in my background. You want to make sure you wet your paintbrush so you can use your watercolors. So I decided to mix in a little bit of black to make the sky look darker because it was looking a little too much like daytime for me. So one thing I forgot to mention is that we are learning about lines and shapes. So if you remember when we first started, we broke everything down into simple shapes. So I do want to mention that whenever you draw, usually you break everything down into its simplest shape. So if we were to draw a rocket, we wouldn't just draw it how we see it. We would break it down into this kind of oval shape, these curvy shape with these simple lines. It helps you see things a lot easier when you break it down into shapes. So I just realized that I have to paint over these because it's going to be a little hard to get in those little spots. So if you have to do the same, that's okay. And then you can go back over with your marker to retrace it. Now what you can do is you can color your rocket ship any color you like. And if you want, you can even add in little designs or lines that we learned about. So I might add in a little zigzag line just for decoration on mine. Okay, so you can do whatever you want to do with yours as well. Okay, if you have a yellow crayon, you can take that out and you can draw little stars on your painting. It might not show up all the way, but adding those little details will help fill in the space a little bit more. Okay, and if your paper is still wet, you want to wait until it's a little bit more dry. That way you don't rip a hole through your paper. Okay, and there you have it. You have your very own rocket ship with lines. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to post a picture of your project on Teams. There is a video uploaded on the post of how to do that. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'll see you guys next time.